Yeah. To begin with, I thought it was funny. It was really, really funny.
What was it you thought was funny? I'm curious.
Yeah. I think because we were, although we didn't really do it on purpose, we were kind of looking for contradictions.
Yeah.
And I think even when we asked each other questions that were quite profound, so for instance mine was, or the question you asked me was, when have you felt most disconnected?
Yes.
And which is quite a profound and serious question.
Yes.
But then when we started improvising and playing out some of those experiences from when I had felt most disconnected, they were quite amusing. They were quite funny.
I mean, you asked me when I felt the most alone. And I think that the interesting thing is actually allowing yourself to remember something which was a specific situation. And then obviously when you have a specific situation, it is something in quotes from everyday life most of the time.
But I think I probably hadn't expected to be laughing that early on in the process. That's what I think. To be amused by the contradiction.
How you should be doing stuff, I think you very easily can get caught in that, even by, you know, we had that in our improvisation yesterday in a sense, but you also can be caught in that, how you're creating a show, and I think this is not what we are about. How you should be doing stuff, and
and that's really, I find that fascinating, because, you know, even when we've talked to people, like yesterday after we got home, we were talking to your flatmate about what we were doing, what we were, and even then you kind of feel yourself having creeping expectations about, how do I explain this? How do I say what we're doing without it sounding airy-fairy, or without it sounding not like a proper show? I think, we're developing a show and we have to make it be funny for the audience, and how will we do that? And, you know, I'm not a comedian and you're not a comedian, and are there ways that we need to write jokes into what we're doing?
Yes.
And actually what happened yesterday was that the things that made us laugh, as you say, from very personal experiences, but very very strange experiences, I suppose, but very everyday. It's like what we're developing now is nothing like what we had before, and that's quite interesting.
And that's what we wanted to have so much in our show, wasn't it? Like to actually take everyday situations and then see that actually in the everyday situations there's quite a depth to it, and you can have depth and humor at the same time, in a sense, you know.
Yeah, maybe we look at our lives and we don't see dramatic moments, we see mundane moments. But when we start to explore them,
they are quite dramatic.
They are quite dramatic, and they are quite emotional. You were doing an improvisation, and there was some stuff that came out of that was quite, I guess if you looked at it without the subtext, would be quite distasteful, horrible maybe to some people, but actually in the improvisation and with the subtext, although it was in some ways very powerful and very traumatic as well, was actually really funny. So, you know, almost to that edge of what can be actually almost distasteful, but was funny as well. Why have you left your boots in the doorway like that? You know, and what we're wanting to do is connect with an emotion that person is showing us, or somehow we can sense in them. But actually what we say is, oh, you've put the cup in the wrong place, or
go through an experience and share that, an emotional experience, you know, to share the emotions. And I find when it comes to, you know, it's very easy just to, in quotes, act, but it's much more intriguing when you take it from a true place.
You would say that.
Yes.
Because you can act. Not all of us can act quite as well as you. But hey,
I wouldn't say that necessarily that I can act well. Or I shouldn't say that. Maybe need to be professional.
You need to stay professional. You need to be professional. And I wrote down something about having a professional anger person. So someone who did anger.
Very
Professionally.
Yeah, I love it.
All the way through.
Yes, I love it.
So you don't have to feel angry. I don't have to feel angry. There's a professional anger feeler.
Just doing something really, without any, I suppose, impetus. You know, without saying, "Oh, you wash up the cup now in this way," and then you in all that trying business again, but just simply, filming different people doing exactly the same action.
Sure.
Or making a cheese and pickle sandwich.
Yeah. We said that before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Cheese and pickle sandwich. Our show has to deal with those. And hopefully, well, no, it will offer the audience and the people who are participating in it an opportunity to find that amusement, not just at our expense and not just at their own expense, but actually in their own experiences. And in order to be able to do that as part of a show and to give that to an audience, we have to have gone through some of that ourselves.
Yes.
So it's kind of like we have to go through some of that process ourselves before we start shaping that show, because that's the process that will be in there.
Yes.
So it's more than just entertainment, or it's more than just us sticking something in front of them, whether that's a film or a scenario or a character.
Yes.
And going, this is a contradiction, it's really funny.
Yeah.
And people, there will be those moments, and some people will think they're hilarious. But really important to us is also that those people get a sense of their own ability to see the sarcasm, to see the funny aspects, to see the everyday in what we're doing, but also in what they're doing too, and what they might then go on to do, so that they can kind of see the spark of something. And if we haven't gone through that spark, if we just do it like a creativity workshop, this is how you do it, then that's going to be really, well, that's not what I want to do. Is it what you want to do?